And I talked about this the other day with Jorge Castillo, Tim. I voted for major awards in the past. I stopped doing that, 10, 15 years ago. But this would be a year where I would not want the National League Cy Young Award vote, because the way that it's setting up right now is absurd. I mentioned the other day, Jacob Mizorowski, of course, is going to be one of the candidates. Paul Skeens, Shohei Ohtani, 082, Christopher Sanchez, Chris Sale. It's crazy how great the Cy Young Award vote is setting up for.
Yeah, I did SportsCenter the other day, and I said this is at the quarter pole is the greatest Cy Young race that I've ever seen in either league, because you have these 5 starting pitchers, all of whom have, a resume that says this is a Cy Young season, and we've left Mason Miller out of the equation, which we're not going to do because he is off to a start that maybe no closer, no reliever has ever had when it comes to a strikeout rate and successful saves. Never seen anything like it. And Christopher Sanchez now 29 2/3 consecutive scoreless. That changeup is just ridiculous, Buster. And it just is another reminder how good the pitching is, or how good the stuff is we see in the major leagues. I saw Matt Vierling yesterday with the Tigers, and he was just shaking his head about the stuff. He said, we saw that Steven Cruz guy he didn't even call it. He said that Steven Cruz guy, he was for the Royals. He said he was sitting at 98 to 100, and he was like pitching in a mop-up situation. The guy has an 8.31 ERA, and he's throwing 100, meaning that's the kind of stuff that our hitters see on a daily basis. And I wonder every day, how does anyone get a hit anymore? That's how good it is, especially in the National League.
Who's going to win the Cy Young Award in the National League, do you think?
Well,
and by the way, we haven't even talked about Sale and Bryce Elder. And
right.
there are other guys who are also
Bryce Elder is way under 2. Sale is having another Cy Young season. I would say Paul Skeens is going to win, because how can you not pick against him? Buster, 40 strikeouts since his last walk. Think about that for a second. No Pirate pitcher has ever done that. And after that horrendous first start, when his defense let him down and he gave up all those earned runs, he's back under 2. So I'll take him. But there are 6 legitimate candidates to win the NL Cy Young.
The 2 guys who are separated to this point from me are Mizorowski and Skeens, because when I watch them pitch, Tim, I'm surprised when opposing batters get hits. And that feels different.
I say it all the time, and I just saw the Yankees the other day in Baltimore, and they had just faced Mizorowski. And Booney told me, he said he did not throw a pitch in the first inning under 102 miles an hour. And he said, and because his release point is kind of down here, you can't see it very well. It's even less than a 3/4. And he said it's really hard to pick up. The guy has struck out 80 batters already. And Booney said he was throwing 5,000 miles an hour against us. That's how he explained it. And Buster, the Brewers the other day, I know you saw this, the average fastball velocity in a Jacob Mizorowski start for all the pitchers in that game for the Brewers, the average was 101 miles an hour. That was the average fastball velocity for the Brewers pitchers. This is what hitters are up against every night now.
And I love the story he just told us about how I asked him about the first time that he hit 100 miles per hour, Tim. You'll love this story. And he said that the board that was at the park, this is when he was in college, the board that was out there could register 98, 99, didn't have a third digit. And so it went kerblooey, like all of a sudden, and then he realized that he had hit 100. That was absolutely super fun.
We would have the top 3 candidates all kind of race to see who's number 1. And the only way we can determine that is if someone would call the great race. Does anyone know how to call a horse race?
I'll call it.
Oh, Dan, thanks, bro. All right, so we got 3 horses in the stable.
Love it.
Who are they?
We had to do, we had to get a new starting gate, because these are like 3 Clydesdales. These guys wouldn't fit in a regular starting gate. We've got Paul Skeens, Christopher Sanchez, and that guy named Ohtani. Look at Skeens out there in the lead. Christopher Sanchez, Ohtani on the deep part of the track on the inside. Boy, this is going to be tight. Ohtani.
He's always number one.
Yeah, he won it by a whisker over Christopher Sanchez.
Are we okay with this?
Yes.
At the top.
I mean, Sanchez has 20 more strikeouts.
Yes.
Actually, no, 30 more strikeouts.
I'm going to give you a dark horse.
It's
A guy
20 more
that's
innings.
also eligible on the list. Don't count out Zach Wheeler. He's going to be climbing up that list quickly.
By the end of the year, he will be on that list.
Is the competition eventually going to wear down the great Shohei Ohtani?
No, I think this is what he wants. I think he likes having a target, and his target is, I want to show the world that I am a Cy Young caliber pitcher, and I think this is the year he's going to do it.
They're going to need the pen. He's not going to be. I don't think he can last trying to go deep in games like he's been.
He's going to need to if he wants to win the Cy Young. His innings cannot be so far back.
He doesn't have to.
He's got to have to be around 155, 160.
Yes.
But if you have a under 1 ERA, let's just imagine that. There's no way he doesn't win the Cy Young. If his ERA is under, why is that .082 right now?
I mean, 1.12 from Bob Gibson made the sport lower the mound.
Yes.
Think about that.
Yeah, but Bob Gibson was 9 innings every game. I'm saying Shohei has to go 5 innings. And if he's under 1, he wins. These other guys can throw 200 innings.
Sounds like a great race. Maybe that's the one we should cover after the All-Star break. Watch out, not for the best pitcher in baseball, which he might be, the best DH in baseball, which he is, but watch out for the best pinch hitter we have seen in the MLB Network era. So Shohei Ohtani is not in the lineup. It's a rest day after throwing 7 squirrels against the Giants. And you see his numbers in his career as a pinch hitter. It's been 4 years since he's had a pinch hit at bat. Shohei's a great pinch hitter. Hitting over 340, OPS over 1,000 as a pinch hitter. And I got to be honest, we got into it yesterday to start the show. And I couldn't wait to go home and had a great meal. Our producer, Chris Collins, and I went to Nomada, terrific Mexican spot near where I live. And I had a couple of Frozens. It was good, right? And then I was feeling right to lean into Shohei. And I'm watching Shohei, and I got emotional. I don't think it was the tequila talking, Jake.
No?
No. I just couldn't believe this man is so hell-bent on being the greatest human to ever play baseball that he is trying to outpitch, not the Giants. He could care less what the other uniform is. He's trying to outpitch Paul Skeens and win the NL Cy Young. It's just incredible, man. You've won this award, Jake Peavy. This dude is the baseball's first 50-50 player. And he's trying to do what you did as your full-time job.
I'm going to say something that I normally wouldn't say right here because we mentioned his name, Rick Sutcliffe. If it's not unanimous, I don't want to hear it. He's trying to win this thing unanimous. Not anybody else gets a vote. You certainly want it then. Rick Sutcliffe powered that into my head, and that is what Shohei Ohtani looks like he is out to do. Win this thing unanimously. Now, what I would like to say is I'd like to go back and get Paul Skeens' first start back in some of those earned runs, because that ERA number and stuff's ballooned when it shouldn't be because of some sunballs and O'Neal Cruz. Or that ERA title is down there. But Shohei Ohtani is truly, and we've been screaming this for years, you have been on to the fact that he's going to win a Cy Young, and you're dead on. That is what he wants to do and what he's after. We've been saying this for years. His offense just has overshadowed how good he is on the mound.
Yeah.
I've been out there on the mound and, like you said, had some success. I couldn't ever dream of going on the mound, having what he has. I'm telling you.
You mean his stuff?
Every pitch.
Wow.
Every pitch is a plus pitch. I had a good slider, I had a good fastball. Nothing comparable to his slider and fastball. He's got split and cutters and just power. And it comes down to that will to win. Like
Look, we're comparing to your first 7 starts of your Cy Young season in 2007.
He's blowing you away.
But look at the swing and miss. Jake at 11 K per 9. I mean, striking people up.
I was on the Operation Punch-Out long before that it was a thing.
Jake's K per 9, I will say this. Shohei's pitching 7th inning, maybe. You know, he's going there. He was looking to go complete games. That was the difference.
I bet you in that Cy Young season, I threw 7 innings just 3/4 of the time. That was what a number 1 starter did.
Yeah.
Get ready, because Shohei's doing that going forward.
Hey, can we talk about this too?
He built himself up for 9 innings.
He needs to beat Paul Skeens, so he's got to go deeper. He cannot be outpitched in terms of bulk and innings dramatically.
I don't think so. Jake had 223 innings that Cy Young year.
Well, Paul Skeens isn't throwing 223 innings this year.
I get it. Paul Skeens is throwing about what, 180?
180, 190.
Shohei's at 44 right now.
These guys too. Like, here's another thing. They're throwing 100, and these guys are better than myself has ever thought about being, and a lot of Cy Young Award winners. But to think about, you just said it, of me striking out guys, on the top of my scouting report, OPO, Operation Punch Out was what that meant. I meant that I was trying to strike out every dude that walked to the plate. When Moneyball and Sandy Alderson and Paul DePodesta got to my team and started running at it, they did not like that at all. Throwing too many pitches, Jake. You're going too hard. We need quality outs, 3 pitches or less. What I'm getting at is the analytics and Moneyball. Those were the 2 guys under Billy Beane in Moneyball. It has certainly shifted to a point where now that was cutting edge back then. Now they want you to make everybody swing and miss.
Yeah.
And so, look, I think back to how I was going about it. And a lot of flack that I got, you can't go wrong with swinging and missing.
No. They can't hit a home run if they don't touch it.
The only thing that can happen is the ball can go to the backstop and the guy can get on first base. That's not actually a bad thing, because you can strike 4 guys out in that inning.
So, it's just really good stuff. What's amazing, and all props to Jake and whoever else has won a Cy Young, it's incredible. But Shohei's hitting on his off days of being a pitcher. And it's almost like, it reminds me of Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's hobby was baseball. And then went and played in the NFL, for a few months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
well, I like that.
These are unique humans.
Anytime we become numb to Shohei's greatness, as we're watching Chris Sale, who's also in the mix for the NL Cy Young, he's losing this game right now, and he's trying to get Dansby Swanson on this very important pitch with a runner in scoring position. I try to remind myself when we go, oh, Shohei's not hitting this year, that if Shohei Ohtani never, big punch out, if Shohei Ohtani never played a major league game, and 2026 was the very first time we ever saw him play, and what his numbers are in 2026 are exactly what they are right now, we would be losing our minds. It's the greatest baseball season ever played by a human. 2026.
Yeah.
True or false?
Yeah, because he hit 20-some homers and he's going to win a Cy Young. I get it.
I just feel
like don't numb the greatness. I remember this growing up in the time when John Wooden had all those UCLA great teams. My brother Larry would always say, you got to remember, respect greatness when it's upon you. Because people don't. It goes by quick.
I know, but I've had a couple analysts on the show go, if Shohei hits under 250 and only 20 homers, he might not win the MVP.
You're twisting the conversation. I'm saying he may not win the MVP. He may not win the MVP.
How? That is not respecting greatness.
That's what you just said. What
are you talking about?
His bar is so high. It's so high. Aaron Judge almost won a Triple Crown. And we were talking about Cal Raleigh.
Because that was the most historic season.
And somebody's going to have a historic season. That's what I'm saying.
I think
the bar is so high.
Who's the next guy in line? Matt Olson would probably be the NL MVP right now if it's not Shohei. If Shohei Ohtani wins the Cy Young and hits anywhere close to league average and hits 20 home runs, he is the MVP of that league.
He has to be.
Clayton Kershaw and Verlander, as you said earlier in a meeting when we started talking about this thing, they won MVPs without having a single offensive.
Kershaw had like an opening day homer once, which was great, but he's not the force of Ohtani.
Ohtani is the best athlete we've ever seen, and here's why. When he gets to just hit, we saw that he's better than everybody else. He went 50-50 and something in the game. When he is just pitching and worried about that, which he is this year, He's on another level.
And I know there's a lot of eye rolling. I can feel the eye rolling coming through the camera lens because there's so many of you are like, oh my gosh, can you guys get off of this topic? Shohei Ohtani. You're annoyed with greatness. You get to tell your kids, grandkids that you saw Shohei Ohtani play in his prime. You're lucky.
True.
We just have to cover it. Now it's time for Scout Insights, powered by Google.